Hi YouTube, Hedgie Tins here, back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about the responsibilities of owning small pets. But really this is a video for owning pets of any kind. So I want to start off by saying that I am in no way trying to put anyone down and trying to, act like I'm all perfect, because I'm not. And I have made plenty of mistakes in the past, and it's something that I have to correct. As a pet owner, we all make mistakes and we need to correct them. Now, if you are a pet owner and you've been currently doing some research and you're realizing that you're doing a lot of or anything wrong and you're not willing to correct it, that is on you. And that is something that you're going to have to live with and realize that it's not the right thing. So I don't want anybody to be put down. I don't want any comments, saying, getting all angry and stuff, because I'm not about that and I'm not trying to put anyone down. Now, if it's anything that has to do with money, if it's a financial issue, like you're saying, oh, well, my small pet is fine and it's, in a small cage. No, they're not. And if it's a money issue, I'm gonna just say this as blunt as I can. Pets are expensive, and there's no way around it. There's no budgeting, and there's no, saying like, oh, we'll get this next month, and it can wait. The better food can wait because it's more expensive. No, it can't wait, and they're expensive, and that's something you have to understand going in. Like, okay, this animal is going to cost me a lot of money. And that's something I had to learn, because as a child I did own pets, and unfortunately I can say for myself that I didn't take the best care of them because I was a child, and I didn't do my research, and I was kind of born in the late 90s, which is when technology started boosting, and I didn't have much internet access. So I can say that I didn't do much research, and it's not even the internet. It was kind of that moment like, oh, mommy, I want that pet. Let's buy it. And that's another topic that we're going to discuss in a minute, children owning pets, but we'll get into that in just a moment. So, yes, animals are very expensive. So Pebbles is probably the cheapest pet that we have, um, and that doesn't make me love her any more or less. I love her just as much as, the rest of the animals. And, you know, she's probably the low maintenance one, and doesn't, the only thing we're really purchasing constantly is bedding and food. But for the rest of the animals, it's bedding, it's food, veggies, chew toys, things that you just go through, like toilet paper. It's crazy how much you spend on these animals, and veterinarian bills. It adds up very, very, very quickly. Now, if you have a small cage, and you probably, if you didn't get it on Craigslist, if you did get it at the pet store, you can very much afford a CNC cage. And if you can't afford to go out and buy a CNC cage, be creative. There are plenty of ways to make a cage a new and happy home for your pet out of basically anything. Be creative. It could be made out of anything. I've seen people, if you go on Pinterest and you type in, guinea pig cages, for instance, I've seen people come up with some really creative stuff. I saw one, and it was like a baby pool, and they cut, I guess, down the middle, and they put two together, and it was a very large cage for their guinea pigs, and that is very creative, and probably a lot cheaper than a pet store cage, and a lot cheaper than, anything. It's very, and it's environmentally friendly, recycling. So really think about it before you go into this. Now I'm going to address children owning pets. Okay, I'm not trying to put anyone down. I'm not trying to be discouraging, and I'm not, looking for any angry moms or dads on here saying, well, my child takes excellent care of their pet. Okay, that's great and good. But I want to say, if you as a parent are not, because children do not have jobs, okay? Children do not work, and children do not make money. Therefore, you are the primary caretaker of their animals. You're the one who's going to be paying for the vet. You're the one who's going to be paying for all of their necessities and supplies and everything that will make them happy. And if you are not on board for that as a parent from the beginning, you should say no. Wait until you're older, and I really wish that my parents had done that with me because, I can say for myself that I wasn't the best pet owner as a child because you live and you learn. When you grow up, you become more responsible, you get a job, and you start realizing the realities of owning pets and how expensive they can be because it's your money that you're spending, it's not your parents'. So I'm just gonna tell a quick story. This was in Fuzzy's story, the adopting the chinchillas video that I did, but so I'm just gonna use him as an example. So when we had gotten Fuzzy, his cage was very, very small. It was actually a pet carrier because it did have the handle on the top. And I found him on Craigslist. He was, the only reason I'm just going to mention him is because he was probably in the worst condition than anybody else here. So his cage was very, very small, and she had him on cedar bedding, which is like a no-no for chinchillas, a big no-no, because they eat everything, and like you will learn that if you do plan on getting chinchillas, they eat everything. And that is another thing with the money situation. If they swallow something that they're not supposed to, that is a huge bill. You're gonna have to pay for some surgery to get that item removed, and it's expensive. It adds up, and if you're not in, a financially stable situation, then I really think that you should put off small pets until you can afford it. Okay, so back to the story. So Fuzzy's cage was very small. He was on cedar bedding, and he was in his little house when we had first got there. It was the plastic chinchilla bathhouse, another no-no because he was chewing on it. The woman that we got him from had him on Walmart pellets, and it wasn't even like for chinchillas. I think it was for rabbits, which is also a big no-no because rabbit food is for rabbits, not for chinchillas. So, and she also had him on some Walmart hay, Timothy hay, which is probably not the best brand. Honestly, I wouldn't buy anything from Walmart for my pets except for puppy training pads because everything there it's probably not good for your pet. So I just, I felt, responsible to take care of this animal. I felt so bad. I saw his picture on Craigslist. I was like, we have to go get him. Rain or shine, we're going to get him today. I cannot leave him there another night. And I would say it took me about 2 days to find an exotic vet because there was none in my area. So this is for my Massachusetts viewers. I'll have to find the name and I'll link it below when I find it. But it was about an hour away from me, so it was pretty far. And I did travel the hour, and I took Fuzzy to see the vet, and his teeth were pretty long because he had never had a chew toy in his entire life, and he was about 5 years old when we got him. So, he didn't have any chew toys. His teeth were very long, but they weren't long enough that she said that he needed surgery to get them shaved down. But I noticed because he didn't have chew toys for so long, he wasn't chewing for about, I want to say about 3 weeks. He wasn't chewing on anything. I did watch him very thoroughly to make sure, I was trying to encourage him to teeth. So I did, I bought a bunch of new toys, things that he could shred. I really wanted to encourage him to chew because his teeth were pretty long. He was missing a toe. I'm not sure how that happened. She said it probably happened, a long time ago because it was really, really healed up. And let's see, what else? So yeah, oh yes, the maintenance is a completely different story. So some people are just not clean people, and that's fine. That's your life. That's your house. You keep it the way you want it. But animals cannot live in their own filth, and they cannot clean up after themselves. So if you are not willing to, sweep up poop every night, which is what I do in the morning and the night, I sweep up, I go through everybody's cages, pick up all the poop, and, wash the sheets. I wash fleece liners about twice a week, 3 times a week, and I live in Boston where you have to pay for laundry. So, unfortunately, that's not a luxury that I have. So I do have to pay for laundry. That's another expense. So I go through maybe 3 loads of fleece items. I go through the fleece liners, these like replaceable pads, just everything's got to go in the wash and like new again. So the maintenance is really high, especially for chinchillas and guinea pigs. They poop everywhere, and some people can maintain that. Some people have litter trained chinchillas and litter trained guinea pigs, which is great. My guinea pigs are kind of litter trained. They're working on it, but they do still poop outside of their, designated areas, and they're very messy. The hay is probably the messiest thing that you will ever find. The hay ends up on the floor, and you can vacuum like 3 times a day, and it will still be messy. The hay is very, very messy. For the chinchillas, they poop outside of their cage. No matter how high I have the lining around the cage, they still manage to poop outside the cage. They spit the hay outside the cage, and it's all over the floor. It's a mess, and it's a big mess, and it's a huge responsibility. And, bedding can get very costly, and so I decided to use fleece because it adds up. Bedding is not cheap, and so that was a personal choice that I made to use fleece. Fleece liners are expensive as well, but in the long run, it will save you money on bedding. Let's see what else. Yep. So we did the cost, the maintenance. The time. You have to have time for your small pets. If you are that person that's another reason why I don't think that children are good small pet owners, just because children are in school for most of the day and they're gone. And, who's going to play with them? Who's going to take them out? If you're not that kind of parent that's going to, a pet of any kind is not a toy. It is not something that you can teach your child responsibility with. This is a live animal that needs love and affection. And if you're that kind of person, then pets are not for you. And I'm not trying to be discouraging, but you should know you as a person. And if you're not, willing to bargain here and be the designated driver, then small pets should not be in your household, or pets of any kind. That is not an attitude that anyone should have. These animals are real, they're alive, and they have feelings. And it makes me very upset when, parents are like, I think I'll get my child something, a starter pet, see how she is with it, teach her how to be responsible. This is a live animal. This isn't something you need to be teaching your kid responsibility with. You are the parent. You are supposed to be teaching your kids responsibility in other ways. Like, for example, I'm just going to throw something out there, a job. When they're, old enough to get a job, you say, all right, you have a job, okay, make them pay for little things like, I don't know, a cell phone or things that they want. Have them, you say you want this game, you gotta save up for it. You have a job now, save up for it, and you can have it. That is a way to teach your kids responsibility, not with an animal. And it really gets to me. It does, because it's unfortunate, but people do it every day, all day. So, let's see, the timing, you have to have time. And, if you're that person that's in the office, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, from 9 to 5, it's not fair to your pet that you're not there. So, if you're in college, I'm in college, but I do, I make time for my pets. I do not play with that because they are very important to me and they are what keep me going. So, please put the word out there that, these pets, they're real and they have feelings, and we are humans, and we are the bigger person here. We are the caretakers of these animals, and they need us to get by. So, let's see what we got here now. We got time, We got maintenance, the expenses, yeah, I think that's about it. If I do think of anything else, then I'll just write it below. But, I mean, that is the reality of owning small pets or pets of any kind, especially, you know, even dogs. Dogs, I had dogs growing up, and, you know, you gotta walk them, you gotta take them out, otherwise they're gonna do business, and you get mad because they, you know, did it on your rug and you're just not happy, but that's not their fault because you didn't take them out. So same idea with small pets. You can't with chinchillas, you can't get mad that they chewed on something if you weren't, you know, watching them. That's on you. And again, I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to discourage anyone. I'm here to help you and, you know, try to, you know, promote proper care for animals. And so I hope y'all like this video. If I can answer any questions, if you have any questions at all, feel free to comment below. Questions, comments, concerns, anything, just comment below. I do read everything you guys say, and I do appreciate all your subscriptions. I'm super happy. I'm getting up there, so you guys make me really happy that you guys are watching my videos. So thank you so much again, and I will see y'all next week. Bye!